The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Aging starts at the cellular level. When cells become toxic, they die early and aging sets in. In the past decade, we have witnessed unparalleled scientific discoveries. During that period, key patented compounds have focused on mitochondrial growth, nerve growth, and rejuvenation. But no one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. We now have the synergistic solution, DNA Force, just one of the key compounds. BioPQQ is backed by major clinical studies and over 175 PubMed-listed published studies. You want the best that's out there at the lowest price anywhere? The ultimate value, cutting-edge, trailblazing game changer that also supports the InfoWar. Secure your DNA Force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. DNA Force from InfoWars Life. From the water table to our soils to the atmosphere itself, our world is becoming more and more toxic each and every day. But it's not just the air outside that's toxic. Indoor air has been shown to have 2 to 5 times higher concentrations of pollutants than even outdoor air. And most Americans spend 90% of their time inside using toxic chemicals within their homes. There are more than 42 million smokers in the United States. Well over 1,000 types of mold and mildew linked to numerous conditions. And don't forget the fact that 6 million Americans live with pets they're allergic to as well. When I began to research these statistics, it was clear to me it was time to start cleansing my lungs in order to combat the toxic environment that we cannot escape, but that we can fight back against. Made with organic and wild cultivated herbs and manufactured in the USA, the new InfoWars Life Lung Cleanse is here in a convenient spray bottle that can be brought with you throughout any toxic environment. Now available exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.
Another major health threat, this one in Toledo, Ohio, where everybody in the entire city has been told not to drink the water.
Ohio's governor declaring a state of emergency.
Did you know that the average person uses about 80 to 100 gallons of water at home every single day? If there's a water emergency, will you be prepared?
Panicked residents forming long lines throughout the day.
We're here at a supermarket in Toledo. You can see the shelves empty where water once was.
To stay safe and healthy during a crisis, you must have access to safe, clean water. Water which will not be available at your local grocery store.
There's a mad dash on right now to stock up on supplies.
The ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system is a must-have for every modern, independently minded household. Protect your family's safety during an emergency. Go to InfoWarsStore.com today to purchase your ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system or call 1-888-253-3139.
Time magazine has come out
leading a frontal assault on the lies of the New World Order. It's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Time magazine has come out, as they always do, going, oh, here's a top globalist who just wants to share with you his vision, what he thinks is going to happen. And it's all been officially planned by MIT. More than 15 years ago, I read the documents on air where they said, there'll be no manned space flight. You won't drive your car. Everything will be done in your house. The computer robots hooked into the central system will watch everything you do. You will be totally social engineered. You will only get meat a few times a year. You will not be allowed to show any gender traits, or you will be sent for re-education. And then now they have documentary cartoons made for high school students in England called Megaopolis, where they show all this. And people see this who are older and say, is this a dystopic joke? No, it's not a joke. When they say, your kids belong to the state. We're not going to let you ever drive a car again. The NSA is watching everything you do. There won't be military and combat anymore. It's the end of humans doing things. The elite have decided to merge with machines and then to release bioweapons to wipe us out. Literally hundreds of publications have said that's the plan. Now, separately, thousands of times, hundreds of times just the last few months, I have been attacked for trying to rally humanity in the face of the clear and present stated enemy agenda. And yeah, it's fantastical. It's freaky. It's crazy. But it's happening. Just like all over the world, our government injected poor people with syphilis. It wasn't just blacks in Tuskegee. It was Guatemalans. It was people injected with it in Pakistan. Injected with polio, injected with sterilants, injected with you name it. They've got History Channel shows that I saw 20-something years ago. And I went and looked it up. It was declassified that they radiated 4,000 plus foster kids who were even healthy. In some cases, they gave them low dosages. Other cases, they put them in there and would fry them on the spot. And in the reports, the Army and other scientists would say, well, as I heard the 4-year-old cry and beg, their body literally burned. And it took several hours for him to die as we monitored. I felt very sad that they had to do this, but it was for the greater good. See, it was about finding cadres of people that would take a 3-year-old and stick them in a radiation chamber and then hit them so hard that their feet would burn to the ground like frying eggs. Oh, the government doesn't bring drugs in. No. The government doesn't launder money. No. It's nice. It wants to give me college scholarships. It wants me to watch football games. It wants me to turn my guns in so we can all be peaceful. Oh, it's not behind the Ebola. The government isn't a government. It is eugenicists, social engineers who have disdain and hatred for humanity. They make Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer look like angels compared to them. They have disdain and a love of death. And if you won't get it, if you won't get that understanding, we're going to lose. I know you're not like that, so it's so alien you don't understand it. Some of the new listeners out there. I will assure you this is what we face. It is the opposite of being Christ-like. But they sell to those of us that are Christ-like and that our hearts are inclined towards helping the innocent, helping the weak, building people up, letting people know the rabbit trick. Enjoy seeing young people learn and be empowered. Enjoy seeing other people that are successful. Enjoy and admire musicians that can play beautiful music. Admire men and women that are beautiful or handsome. We're blind spiritually to the evil ones that hate beauty and hate strength and hate honor. But they sell us on a fake Christianoid liberalism of give your money for the poor people. Aren't you like Jesus? Liberation theology. But you notice the money they give is not to empower someone to know how to fish. It is simply to get people to become domesticated and to live off the government dole that the Roman system had 2,000 plus years ago to control the voting Romans, to control the Senate. We're going down a crony system instead of an open system. And there's always aspects of both in any system. There's no such thing as utopia under the dominion of man and the God of this world, who's not the good guy. But you're going to see the total incremental rollout. You think they're going to stop with front line parking spaces for people that have electric cars and then for people that carpool? No, they're going to make whole cities driverless cars in the next few years. It's now moving to that. And all the PR and all the statistics, you'll pay 5 times more on insurance if you try to drive yourself, because they don't want you doing what you want. They want everything you do tracked and traced and controlled beyond the NSA so they can rig the whole system and actuary the entire economy to make sure there's no underground economy when they shut the economy off. And that's in the news again today, that the NSA isn't really about spying on people so much politically, though that's part of it. It's almost entirely about rigging markets and stealing ideas and making sure the insiders can take over. Just like when you post you're going on vacation and what you got for Christmas and where you live, and thieves come and rob your house when you're gone because you were dumb enough to put it on Facebook because you're a good person. You didn't do anything wrong. So what's the big deal? Let your cell phone track you. Let people know where you live. Don't leave your house locked. Or let folks know what you got for Christmas, and then see someone comes and robs you, and you're like, why? I'm a nice person. They came and robbed you because you are a nice person. You're a schmuck. Good people have to stop acting like jellyfish, sheep, idiots, or you will be overrun. And worse, under all the fake Christ-like, counterfeit Christ garbage, you will say, I've got to let the state run my kids and my life and my house and tax me more because I'm stingy, because I'm only paying 70% in one tax or another. 70% is what the average upper middle class person pays in this country. The ultra rich pay almost nothing on record because they wrote the laws. You're like, good. Do you have any idea back when Kennedy cut taxes by half what happened? Tax receipts doubled. The middle class exploded at the biggest rate ever. Because there was more money for you to decide where to spend it. They don't want you to have money to vote in the free market because that'll build a beautiful world of big, nice luxury facilities and nice houses and nice cars and vacations and going where you want and traveling where you want. The globalists don't want a world like that. Their excuse is it hurts the earth. Headline, why a depression would be good for the carbon footprint and good for the earth. That article was in thousands of publications. But they're not even trying to turn off the economy to really help the earth. They're busy destroying it with GMO and cross-species garbage and you name it as fast as they can. They're doing it because they want you destitute so they have the money and the power and you have nothing. Where there is freedom, they don't control. Where there is wealth, they don't control. Got it? It's fundamental. It's not that they don't care about you. They hate you. They do care about you. They care desperately about destroying you and your family and dumbing you down and putting deadly vaccines in you and deadly fluoride in you. And everyone inherently knows this deep down. But you can intellectually go check everything I've said. It's true in triplicate, in spades. I will never sign on to sterilizing people in Africa. I will never sign on to injecting Appalachian people with syphilis. I will never sign on to 54 million abortions. I will never sign on to any of this because the minute you sign on to that, ladies and gentlemen, you step over to the other side. And let me tell you now, you are openly working under the God of this world who wants to destroy your soul. And you fools out there that don't know it's about that are idiots. This is 100% spiritual, demonic warfare going on, manifesting itself on a planetary scale with robots and electric systems controlled by the beast that will micromanage everything we do. And I got news for you, you're not going to be raptured out of it. German Christians thought they were going to be raptured in World War II. Christians in Russia, Christians in China. That doctrine's only 200 years old, folks. It doesn't happen. And even if you don't believe in God, you better know this system is evil. They teach psychologists and psychiatrists that there's no good and evil, that you're beyond good and evil. What baloney. That's saying you can't have a choice of what you discriminate against, that you believe robbing an old lady and knocking her over the head is evil, and you believe helping an old lady is good. Yes, there is good and evil. There is right and wrong. That's why they've come out and said, why at the grocery store we can't have gingerbread men or gingerbread women because that gives people a choice. It notes a difference, and any difference is evil. See, that's the opposite of diversity. Breaking through the binary gender explained using continuums. Guys, I actually have the photo on my phone. And I want to give it to the guys. This is being sold in Austin as well, where it says gender-neutral gingerbread person. And it's about throwing it in your head. Foreign banks have robbed over $1,000 trillion from the worldwide community by design. World government's being formed. Our government's funding Al-Qaeda to chop everybody's heads off that isn't a radical Islamicist. Our test scores are plummeting. Cancer's exploding. The border's wide open. They're letting Ebola come into the country. And the mayor of Houston wants to arrest preachers and is subpoenaing them because they